Hallo, ich bin Joshino und willkommen zu mein Fragen und Antwort. Lecker, lecker, wunderbar, alles klar. Essen Sie Brot? Trinkst du Mineralwasser? Ja. Anyway, I didn't have a language for this week's question and answer, so I thought I'd just go ahead and do German. But I did notice somebody said somewhere, do an Austrian accent. So I do know that Austrians don't pronounce ja like ja. They go your, and that is very true. Nobody can claim otherwise. And that was German for question and answer. So let's get on with the question, shall we? Okay, Crit's Cake says, "Oh Josh, fun question. Have you ever done anything perverted, like going into a women's toilet, seeing someone naked, grabbing someone's lingerie by mistake, etc.?" I mean, the last one, I don't know how you accidentally grabbed somebody's lingerie. Where were you going with that? What were you trying to grab? But I do have one recollection of like an almost anime moment. Basically, we were on a cruise. We were on a ferry over to Amsterdam. And me and some friends were talking to some girls, and I was flirting with one girl in particular, and I sat next to her around a round table. And I don't remember what I was saying, but I went to touch her shoulder, and because, you know, you need a little bit of contact and to make a joke, and instead of grabbing her shoulder, I got a handful of bosom. To my massive embarrassment and to her anger, I was like, oh dear, this is all over now. I've ruined this. Yeah, both parties were embarrassed, and she wasn't very happy. So, yeah, I have had one perverted incident like that. But I don't know how you grab somebody's lingerie by accident. How does that happen? Eva Pringle says, "If you didn't mind breaking the horrible topic of politics, what party are you voting for in the next general election? And what do you think of tactical voting?" So there's two questions there. On the first one, I'm voting Green, and my political allegiance lies mostly with the Green Party and the Liberal Democrats. In the terms of my ideology and civil liberties and social justice. But, as I said, that's my preference in politics, and it's mostly informed by the work I do with the charity sector and working with a lot of people who are in bad situations. But I would highly recommend that people take a quiz to see which party they most align to through their policies, rather than the actual party or the party leaders themselves, because the important thing at the end of the day is the policies, not the people. And it doesn't matter what political affiliation you are, but you should really try and see which one you actually fit to, rather than voting something that your parents have voted for or your family have voted for years. But I'll include a link to one of the questionnaires below. And no matter what you align to, because everyone's political affiliation is different, you should probably just have a look to see that you're actually voting for the right party for the right reasons. And tactical voting, I think, is a load of rubbish, really. I voted for the alternative vote I don't know how long ago it was now, like 3 years ago. And I was very sad that I didn't go through. I personally think that it's kind of a good thing that we probably will end up with a coalition in this government, because a coalition government is more representative than a single government, even if they have the majority, because at the end of the day, when you have a coalition, you have several parties together, and lots of people have voted for those parties. I mean, the likelihood at the moment is that we'll have Labour and SNP, but who knows at the end of the day when the actual election comes round. Stin the Derper says, "In what league are you with CSGO, and what skins do you have?" I'm currently Nova 4, but we should be moving up very, very soon, because we've won quite a few games against similar ranks. What skins do I have? I sold a lot of my skins recently, although I was donated the Osiris skin by Elsbro, which was very nice, and thank you very much for that, on the Bison. But it's probably my prettiest skin. Apart from the M4, I've got the Zerka skin, which I like. It's just basically got a yellow star on it. Nick Pereira says, "Hello Joshino, what do you think about adding a sniper rifle to Planetside 2, which could slightly damage tanks?" To be honest, I don't really know what the purpose of it would be, outside of just being an annoyance, because the explosive crossbow has to be quite a lot lower in damage, just so that it's not overpowered, in the same way that a sniper rifle would be very hard to manage into how it would exactly be not overpowered. Like, unlike the Lancer, which is very effective when used in groups, you can attack the people with the Lancers, assuming they're not out of render range. Most of the time you can shoot back at Lancers firing at you, but with a sniper rifle, that could be explosive. If you had a group of snipers and you're firing at a tank, you could just go invisible again. I don't know. I don't know how it'd work. But apparently somebody else said that it's in the works, so we'll see. Chris Harper says, do you play in dig platoons, which are Miller vs? And yes, I occasionally do drop into a dig platoon. It really depends where they're fighting. If I really don't like fighting in fights where VS completely overpop, but sometimes dig platoons aren't in those fights. I like to jump into 50-50 fights, so I usually jump into all the squads in the game and see where they're fighting and then decide whether to go to them or not. Xflamer says, Vib is dying. You're never on TeamSpeak. Lala went to us, Vogu, because there wasn't any dumbass to have a conversation with when you logged in. How many of you are actually playing anymore? Well, actually, a lot of the Vib guys have come back now, so there's probably about 6 of us on most of the time, and then sometimes a full squad at the weekends or when people are off work. So I think it's coming to life a bit more. Foster and Briggs says, what phone are you currently using? I'm actually using the Nexus 5 right now. I very much like the vanilla Android experience, and I've been with the Nexus series since the Galaxy Nexus, and I've basically just not decided to go off of them. I have thought about the Nexus 6, but it just doesn't seem that much of a logical jump, and it's quite a lot of money, so I couldn't afford it at the moment anyway. But I'm not sure whether I'll wait and see what the next Nexus line is, what the next phone comes out before I upgrade. Because, to be honest, the Nexus 5 is fast enough, it's quite a large phone, 5 inches, and it does everything that I really want it to do. Asa Goldsmith says, can you share your Town of Salem username? So, wait for this, I've got a big reveal on what my name is on Town of Salem. Yeah, it's just Joshino, so if you want to add Joshino, then I'll surely accept. Andy Dye says, are you ever going to get out of your tiny town and tour the world? Well, actually, Andy, I have been around quite a lot of the world. I've been to Hong Kong, Australia, a lot of Europe. I've been to Hungary, France, Germany, Spain, Greece. I've been to America. Where else have I been? Well, I've been around, let's just say. So I don't think that I've been cooped up in my own town that much, but to be honest, if I was to live anywhere, I'd really like to live in Berlin, Germany, because the people are just so friendly, and the way of life is so much different there. It's just a weird sort of communal feeling that everyone has responsibilities, and I don't know, it's just so nice there. But I do want to move out, and the main reason is because of the internet being terrible, and also I have to get really dodgy buses to my work. But I'm not sure how long it'll take me to be really self-sufficient to get out of this town, or if my family will move to somewhere with better internet in the meantime, which we were meant to move, but it's just getting a bit complicated. Anyway, thank you all very much for asking questions this week, and please, please, please ask questions for next week, because that's what makes these videos. And I'm sorry that I've been a bit rubbish, but hey-ho, it's Joshino. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, blah blah blah, you know the jazz. Until next time everybody, Joshino.